I need you to watch this whole video because this is important information, and I need you to hit the like button, and I need you to hit the subscribe button too. Least you can do for me, because it took blood, sweat, and tears to get this information. Now, in previous videos, I mentioned how you could use a scarf, like a shamag, to block the knife. And that is true. However, most knife attacks are ambushes, and you don't see them coming, and you don't really have time to wrap your arm with something. That's good information to have, but the reality is, to stop an attacker with a knife, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to get cut. If you can come to terms with the fact that you're going to get cut, that is where you will survive. And that might sound crazy, but in order for you to trap the knife or to at least buy yourself time, you have to protect your vital organs. Your arms are mostly expendable, except for your brachial artery and your radial artery. I go into human anatomy in a whole different video, okay? If you guys want to check that out, you can. But a knife fight is an extremely unpredictable situation, all right? It's not something you want to be involved in if you could possibly help it. And the reality is, you're probably going to get cut in the process of trapping that knife, okay? And that is what you want to do. You want to trap the knife. If you can trap the knife, if you can gain control of the knife, bystanders may come to help you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe you can tire him out. Maybe you can get the knife from him. Your lungs, your aorta, your pulmonary artery, all these arteries up here, your jugular vein, your carotid arteries, and all this stuff that runs in your neck and in your armpits, and then even on your upper arms, stuff like the brachial artery. That's very difficult to survive if that gets cut. If you get a cut on the radial artery on your arm, it's easier to get the blood under control with a tourniquet, or even with enough compression. Under some circumstances, you can get the bleeding under control. Your priority is to block the knife, and once you can block the knife, you can trap it. If you know a knife attack is coming, the best thing you could do is run away, right? That's why you need to work on situational awareness. Observe, orient, decide, act, all that good stuff. You need to have situational awareness. If you see it coming, your possibility of getting away becomes a very real possibility of running away. This is a martial arts training knife. You'll notice that it's black in color, right? Somebody that knows what they're doing is going to have a black knife because they're a lot harder to see, especially in low light conditions. That's a brutal reality check that you could have something like the Smith & Wesson HRT or one of those cold steel blades, and you're going to have like a black anodized finish. Extremely hard to see, and it gives the knife attacker an immense advantage. In most circumstances, you're actually going to have to close distance, because most knife attacks are ambushes. The vast majority of knife attacks are ambushes, okay? It's just the nature of the beast. If a person's actually attacking you with a knife, they're not going to let you know they're coming, especially if they know what they're doing. Stay in the fight. This is an important one. If you mentally don't stay in the fight, if you get cut and you see your own blood and you start, oh my God, you can't have an oh my God reaction when you start bleeding. You have to stay mentally in the fight, okay? There will be time for mentally and emotionally processing what just happened later. You need to stay in the fight until there's an outcome of the fight, okay? That will increase your chance of survival. If you get cut, keep fighting, okay? If they see that you're not going to give up, that may dissuade your attacker. If they give it their best shot and you're bleeding on your arm, but you keep going, that will make him think twice about continuing. It definitely will make them think twice. You can obviously use things in your environment to put between you and the attacker, but this only works if you have some distance and you kind of see it coming. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the corners of buildings and stuff, blind spots, places where people can hide. Be aware of ambush points. You can still transition to whatever weapon you have, but your first immediate reaction upon discovering that you're being attacked with a knife is to throw your hands up. That should be your first reaction, to block those blows. If you know you have a lifestyle where you have a high likelihood of getting stabbed, you need one of these, okay? You need a riot shield, you need personal protective equipment, stuff like that. If you're in a profession where you have a high likelihood of people stabbing you, it definitely helps to have stuff like this to put a barrier between you and them. Once you're in a safe area, at the conclusion of the knife attack, you need to wet check your body. That is, feel your body and see if there's any wetness, see if there's any blood, see if you're leaking. If you are, you need to address that. Call authorities, call an ambulance, whatever you need to do. But also, if it's an arterial bleed on the arms, you need to make some kind of tourniquet or carry some type of tourniquet. I have other videos on tourniquets and stuff like that I encourage you guys to check out. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do everything you can to help this video. Stay safe out there, survive, live the fight another day, and take care of your family. Jordan Cherub, signing off.